Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to One Last Hurrah in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, with the end of the Fate of Atlantis DLC. Now that Episode 3, Olympus, is it named Olympus or is it Judgment? I don't remember for some reason. But Episode 3 of the Fate of Atlantis has finally come out. It's been a long journey since I started this game, and it is almost over. So let's see where this trek through Atlantean territory goes.
Once more, Keeper, I ask you to return to me.
There's Alethea. Must be close to finishing my trials of the staff. I'll find her.
Also, I don't necessarily remember the staff being... Oh, no, that's not the staff. That's the Reaper's Blade that I picked up last time after defeating Death, which was a pain in the butt. It was a really long fight scene that just never seemed to end. But yeah, let's talk to... Like, last time, like, Cassandra's journey seems to be going okay. Layla, I believe is her name in the present, her journey does not seem to be going okay. Considering the fact that she killed her friend. Her ally. And that seems to be a consistent theme for humans' dealings with Isu. Like, just as Desmond killed, What's-Her-Face, played by Kirsten Dunst. It's been a really long time. But as he killed that character while under the control of the Isu, Layla kills her partner under the control of the staff. Which makes me think that the present situation will not end very well. But then again, I would imagine that the present situation isn't really going to have a resolution, because why would they put a resolution to said storyline in the DLC? That would be madness.
We're nearing the end of your journey, Keeper. You and the staff are nearly connected. Are you ready to proceed?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's see. So far, I would have to say that Fate of the two DLCs, Fate of Atlantis is much better. Although, you could argue that they both kind of like push the main characters in very specific directions that are unavoidable. Cassandra becomes a family member. Layla becomes a murderer. Is the body of her friend still kind of on the floor here, having a good time? Wow, I don't know if that's purposeful. Oh, that is not purposeful. The physics of the situation. Oh, she just has a flashlight. I can beam the corpse with a flashlight. Yeah, the physics engine has kind of left her sprawled out. Let's talk. There we go.
Back so soon?
Alethea, I know I wasn't gone long in the Animus, but I couldn't wait.
I've been thinking about whether or not I should let you continue, and I have my answer, but I'm afraid you won't like it.
Don't tell me I can't go into the third simulation.
I'm sorry, Layla. I made a miscalculation, and I factored you in when it was a mistake to do so. I see that clearly now. It's time for you to leave Atlantis.
You can't do this. Not now! I've seen Elysium and the Underworld. You can't take that away!
If I'd known this reality would go the direction it did, you wouldn't have seen any of it. You're too human. Your DNA has succumbed to the corrupting nature of the staff.
Listen, I know the bleeding effect is real, and accessing Deimos' memory did affect me. But I've studied Isu artifacts. This is the last stage of my trials. When it's over, my DNA will be able to overcome the staff's control.
And then what will you do?
My simulations are closed to you.
Do I want to appeal to reason? Do I want to apologize for my actions? Or do I want to ignore everything prior to this and be like, whatever, I'm gonna apologize.
I'm really sorry, Alethea. For everything up until now. You had such high hopes for me.
I did, yes. But that was my own fault. I should never have let you go down this path.
No, that's the thing. You were right. You saw something in me that I'd be the one to bring balance. And I still can if you let me.
Even if I were to let you in, your doctor is dead.
If I could take that back, I would. But I can't. And I have to keep going.
From her calculations, your body wouldn't be able to withstand the simulations.
My body is fine. The staff kept Cassandra alive for thousands of years. I've got a protection guarantee.
Your mind is a different story altogether. You don't have the sense to see its degradation.
When you break it down, this staff heals, Alethea. I could come out of this smarter, more in control. Invincible.
That's quite Just
Invincible.
let me see for myself.
No, even just a slight breeze.
Oh my god.
Invincible.
Won't regret this. Here we go.
I'll see you inside.
Oh. So is she actually going to be participating in the simulation? That would be an interesting twist. Rather than having the simulations just kind of affect, like with Elysium and the Torment of Hades, there were interesting places, though they were very encapsulated. The things you did in one didn't really seem to affect the other. And let's see, and I would imagine I'm probably not going to worry about Hades in this last part. I'm probably not going to worry about... Who is the ruler of Elysium again? Not Athena. Was that Athena? It's been a while. But I'm probably not going to see her again. Or Hermes, or any of those people. So I kind of wonder... Let's see, they still haven't rolled out Zeus. Okay.
That's enough!
Nope, that's Poseidon.
Need to shout. This isn't your domain, brother. Hades has nothing left to offer you. You are never meant to stay here, nor Elysium. You didn't belong on Kefalonia, and you didn't belong in Sparta. I can't offer you a
And
place.
Poseidon actually has dialogue this time.
This time you finally found it. Atlantis awaits.
Oh,
Anywhere is better than here.
this is true.
I won't forget this.
Wait a second.
No!
Huh. So, okay, so Cassandra was tasked to find champions because by defeating Cerberus, that it was causing rifts to appear on the throughout the underworld.
There's no need for that here. You're safe.
Oh, sure, I'll take your word for that
I've
one.
heard that before.
This place isn't like any other you've been.
Persephone, that was her name.
Just you.
Just me. The Castis Vasilevs, the grand adjudicator of all Atlantis.
I suppose that makes sense for Poseidon to be the ruler of Atlantis.
I am Poseidon. What I'm offering you, keeper of the staff, is a place at my side. Join me as my Castis.
Okay, two questions. What is a okay, that is a odd camera angle for some reason. What is a dicastes, and what do you expect me to do? But yeah, so so by fighting Hades, did that essentially weaken his control over the underworld and cause rifts to appear again?
This place is the real Atlantis. I mean, it's intact. I thought the city was destroyed.
Every 7 years, our great city begins a new cycle, if judged to be imperfect.
And who's the judge?
Before your arrival, it was my decision alone. Now that I have you at my side, I intend for this cycle to last an eternity.
What?
If you're the Dikastis Vasilevs, you expect me to be...
A god?
The judge. Be my hand in laying and enforcing judgment in Atlantis.
Oh,
Well, I must warn you that I'm not always right.
this is a correct statement. A very accurate and true statement.
Fortunes were exchanged in response to your choices. But trust that I learned your reverence to justice is true.
That seemed like a very generic statement, so that no matter what choice that I made, whether it was good or bad,
Hades must have told you about my staff.
like, it would have led to the same outcome.
As is the way with all heroes, your journey has become the stuff of Atlantean legend.
Then you know my staff is the reason I'm here. I need to learn how to master it.
This land is a paradise of power for those with issue devices, but all in good time.
So you expect me to live among you? A home among gods?
Gods? We are much more than the human conception of gods. Your father called us the ones who came before, but as Alethea told you, we are the issue.
You know about my staff, Pythagoras, and Alethea?
Okay, so previous parts,
Very watched.
I wondered whether, like, the simulation was just a meaningless simulation, as is. Just like a test. But at the same time, like, Alethea is a simulation of the issue.
My hardships make me a good Dikastis?
We don't always choose our
Like, are these all simulations of the original issue?
You possess both DNA strands, the best of humans and Isu. I have no doubt that you are.
I want to say I've heard that movie, that plot element before. Like, you have, you can walk in both of their worlds. You have the best of their qualities. Oh yeah, there's a new Blade movie coming out soon. Let's see. I'm done with the challenge. I'm done helping Isu. I have my weaknesses.
It's an honor. Where do I start?
Kill that one over there.
Senses to understand the world around them. We have been blessed a sixth knowledge. Ah, no, it is not merely your vision of the ego. The essence of that sense sleeps now, but it can be awoken in Atlantis. Your stuff is more than a key. It's a bridge between who you are now and who you must become.
It is also a bottle opener, and it comes with 3 different screwdrivers.
That and more. Come, let me show you.
I accessed power sources in Elysium and the underworld. They helped my knowledge, I think, but they haven't changed my senses.
In Atlantis, you'll find the sources that awaken your new sense much more concentrated.
Okay, so more
Not only will
power-ups.
Your knowledge grow here, but it will thrive. You'll find 3 such sources once you leave this place. You know them? as
More
Keeper's
Keeper's Insights. Although, to be...
Anyone can get through.
It's blocked to those who haven't full access to our knowledge.
okay, so it's combining the whole Keeper's Insight thing with the barrier that was for Hades. Isu Knowledge. The Isu's sixth sense, also known as knowledge, can be gathered by scanning various pieces of technology. I was reading about how this part of the DLC kind of gatekeeps progress through such means. And where am I? Preliminary knowledge required. I don't even know how to even leave this room. Okay.
Hello, Layla.
Alethea?
couldn't stop you physically, but perhaps I can make you understand through technical means.
No, I've got this. Stay out of it.
That's a little interesting, the idea that they're combining the two storylines as it progresses. Let's see. How do I get up there? Nope. Oh, okay. There we go. Luckily, there is still treasure for me to loot to get more unnecessary items that I can't even equip right now. And...
Strange. But it feels like the stuff is becoming a part of me.
Poseidon the...
I'm starting to understand. It's like I can feel Isu memories and hear their wisdom.
Poseidon the Trident King has decreed these rules be followed without discretion throughout Atlantis. Rulings made by the Dicastus must be followed. The Dicastus will act as impartial judge and has the authority over all except the Dicastus Basilis. So basically, authority over everybody but Poseidon. Yay. Isu experimentation is prohibited on all humans, and the Dicastus will see to its adherence. Matters of Isu and human concern must be considered without bias. All judgments made by the Dicastus will directly influence the cycle's success. What does that mean? And are we going to get a nice swoop? Some title? Looks kind of pretty. It makes for an interesting looking ringed city, kind of like Elysium, but more urban sprawl, as opposed to just kind of like a lot of outdoor areas, some ruins here, some ruins there. Judgment of Atlantis.
Now I know what you meant about the sources being more concentrated. I feel different.
Many things are different here, Dicastis. You'll discover that in time. Atlantis awaits you. I have one rule that is absolute. Our technology cannot be used on my human civilians. Their bodies cannot withstand the power. The Isu know this above all.
So, I'm free to go? What task should the Dicastis do first?
Even Atlantis is not a perfect society. It yearns for balance. So be that balance. Then when your role as guide to the people is fulfilled, it may well be perfection. Don't
Or it
worry.
might not.
You've already earned my respect, which is a trial in itself.
Okay, so I guess I'm done here. Although I probably don't need this underworld armor,
Dicastis.
now that I think about it.
His Excellency Atlas humbly requests that you join him at his Doma to discuss a matter of grave importance.
Right. I'll make sure to stop by.
Yeah, but can you tell me where the club is? Because I need to discuss a matter of rave importance.
Eminence? This place is more kings than Sparta.
Ooh. Alright. That was actually pretty cool. That is one way to enter a person's Doma. But let's see what Atlas has to do now that he's no longer carrying the world on his shoulders.
Ah, you've arrived! I'm honored that Dicastis would accept my humble request.
I'm impressed that everybody already knows I have the position, considering I've just shown up.
I thank you for coming to see me. I'm sure you're very busy. The burden my father gave you is not a light one.
but I assure you I will take it lightly.
Your messenger told me it was urgent.
Gravely urgent, indeed.
Well, here I am.
It's my brothers, the Archons. They have issues with the human populations under their control. Tensions between Isu and humans are mounting. Without order, the problems will grow severe.
I'll try and use my position to help them where I can.
Find Hadiros, Amphiris, and Azeas. Through your shining example, I hope they learn the valuable lessons in discipline they so desperately need.
And if I help them, you're hoping it'll maintain the peace between Isu and humans.
That's the plan. Poseidon should have known they weren't ready for the responsibility an Archon bears. But that's his failing.
But now it's all on Atlas's shoulders.
Tell me about Gaviros.
You'll find him near the arena, hard at work planning his next exhilarating spectacle, I'm sure.
And who is
What should I know about
Amphiris?
Amphiris?
He's probably off terrorizing people near the fortified Doma of Ochtonos. Make sure you don't sneak up on him. He's quite jumpy.
Is he literally terrorizing people, or is that just a figure of speech? Because that might be why there are
You'll
issues.
find dear Azais wherever there is humanitarian work to be done. I heard there were some issues near the Doma of Amphiris.
We
What do they
have
even
Archons
do,
where
these
I'm from.
Archons?
Do they fulfill the same duties?
They are charged with overseeing and ruling the humans of Atlantis, ensuring all live comfortably and peacefully, a job at which I fear they're failing.
There always seems to be unrest between the two races. The Underworld and Elysium were no different.
Time passes and tensions keep building. I expect.
Although, to be fair, like, Persephone was literally mind-controlling people, so that's not exactly parts of a good ruler.
I'll find the Archons and make sure their problems are taken care of.
Hades is literally tormenting people. What? Oh, you want me to bow? Or... Or you want something else? This is highly... Oh, or do you just want me to leave? This is highly unclear. Still, very cool environment. I would like to know what this cycle is, though. And, of course, a new location means new viewpoints to synchronize. Although... yeah, looking at this kind of like ringed city, it is very dense. Like, much more so than the previous two areas. Although... Poseidon did mention that Atlantis is safe. And it definitely seems much safer than the previous two areas. In that there are no random monsters or enemies just kind of wandering around.
Murderer? I didn't do it!
Stop her before she kills again!
Leave me alone!
You know, I was just talking about how everything was safe. And then these guys show up. I don't know why I'm spending so much time fighting this guy. Oh, yeah, that got a lot of people. Was that really necessary? Probably not.
Want to tell me what that was all about?
No. I'll be fine.
Okay.
Because you can make this all go away. My name is Lyra, and you're... you! You've helped so many people. You're amazing and wonderful and powerful and you're here.
Wait, are you referring to my reputation of before I got here? Because I haven't done anything here yet. I've actually killed a couple people.
They called you a murderer.
I will still take the praise anyway.
But as the Castis, I have to be sure.
They're sure I'm responsible for what happened to that poor family. They said it's like the other murders, but I couldn't live with myself, I swear. Please, please clear my name.
Where were you when the family was murdered?
If it happened last night like they said, I was here trying to sleep. Although lately it's been restless, filled with strange dreams. It's always the same one, over and over.
Okay, so she's the murderer, she kills people in her sleep. Done.
I decided to stay in.
You said something about other murders.
This was the third time. I just don't understand why they blame me. I don't have the stomach to do that.
I'll find out what really happened. Just point me in the direction of the attack.
Just down the road. Not too far from here.
If I were you, I'd hide until I return.
Oh, good idea. Thank you. You truly are a great Castis.
Really? If I was supposed to be like an impartial judge, then why am I like fighting? Also,
Please find out what happened.
oh,
I'm not a murderer. I know it.
I was wondering if I could actually call my horse in here. Where is he? Wow. This area is not exactly very horse-friendly, considering all these twists and turns. Okay, so yeah. I'm expecting Lyra to be the murderer, largely because of her sleeping issues. She might not have the stomach for it. She claims not to have the stomach for it. But she has a secret alternate side. A darker side, so to speak. And it's then, late at night.
Maybe someone around here saw what happened last night. These footprints track the blood out of the house. Whoever murdered them left this way.
Okay, so the murderer left towards her.
These aren't stab wounds. They're claw marks.
Is she a werewolf?
This bloodied cloth doesn't match the mother or daughter's robes. It must have come off the murderer.
And what do you have to say for yourself?
Is this about what happened last night?
No, what else would it be about?
And if the Castis is here, you must be looking into it.
If you saw or heard anything, I need to know.
I saw it from the distance. Heard it too. Its howl will never leave my mind.
You saw a wolf?
Beast is more like it. If you see it, run!
I'll be careful.
And you, sir?
The great Ligastis. What did I do to deserve a visit?
I'm looking into the attack that happened nearby last night.
Ah, of course. I thought that was meant to be handled already.
That was meant to be handled already, but there are the things that have been meant to be done, and then there are the things that have been done.
I understand your hesitation, but I'm trying to get to the bottom.
I'm not going to sling my title around, especially since I only just got it, and I'm not intending to keep it.
Lyra, you agree with the mob?
Of course I do. I'm the one who told them it was her. I saw her last night. bloody and in a frenzy.
It was dark. How do you know it was her?
I know what I saw.
I should return to Lyra and let her know what I found.
Hmm. Yeah, he seemed like a very unreliable witness. And I seem to have gotten very, very little out of that conversation.
Well, did you find out what happened?
The evidence I found was conflicting.
Tell me.
2 people saw what happened.
Also, people have very large necklaces in this world.
Covered in blood and leaving the family's house.
He's lying!
Or mistaken. It was dark, so it could have been anyone. There's more. The killing blows weren't made by a weapon.
Then by what?
It almost looked like claw marks. And then there was this piece of cloth. It didn't match the clothes of anyone there.
That's mine! How did it get there?
Oh
Someone
no,
made it look like I was
it was
responsible.
Lyra that was
Tell me
the
the truth,
killer
because
all
these-
along. But the beast was in her.
Whether it was a wolf or something else, it's clear it wasn't you.
Of course it wasn't, but why would someone make it seem like I'm the murderer?
We'll figure that out together. After I kill the beast.
You're going to kill it?
What other choice is there? Do you want another mob after you?
No.
Do you
of
want the
course not.
beast to be killing
I've always
other
hated the killing of animals.
If I
people
don't kill it
also?
now, it will kill someone later.
I have a friend who can keep me safe while you end this.
I need to find the beast and kill it before it grows bloodthirsty again.
That's very convenient that the beast is right there. Like, if I actually had to look for the beast, hunt him, figure out where it resides, like that would take time and effort. But when you've got waypoints, oh, like crap. I ran right past this dismembered body, and almost past this dismembered body, and the blood stains. Oh, the blood stains. Oh, hello.
This is no ordinary wolf.
And its label is wolf. Okay, so I can hit it with the assassinate ability. That does a whole bunch of damage. Hit it with that. Then I will get my adrenaline back. Oh my, that was poisoned in one hit. Very nice. Oh, assassin again. And he's done. Or she's done.
Malaka. Lyra.
Oh no, it was I who was the killer all along. It was in me.
What am I?
I've seen this before. A Minotaur, Cyclops, a Gorgon. All
Oh.
were humans possessed by powerful issue devices. The only way I could stop them was by killing them.
Is that the necklace that she's got on her?
To change back. Somehow you're different.
I need to claim that necklace from
I
her.
don't remember coming here. Or why?
If I had to guess, that side of you knew it was caught. Maybe it thought coming out here was the only choice it had.
That side of me. I've had dreams lately of being in a bright room, tied down, pain throughout my body. But now, I think that all really happened. I did kill
So
the
there's
man.
apparently a rule
I
about
don't
Isu
remember it, but
experimentation,
It was me, wasn't it?
but I feel that some of the Isu are breaking that rule, clearly.
If you knew you would harm people again, and you could never control yourself, Never stop. Would you?
Would I what?
Jump?
If I lost control of myself, I knew I'd never get it back. I'm not sure what I'd do.
I thought so. This is the only way. If I'm to die, I want to be the one to decide when that happens.
You don't need to do this.
The choice
Is there another option?
I can't go on after what I've done, and what I'd likely do again. Thank you for everything.
There are no other options. Interesting, though. Clearly, the peaceful city is
Didn't deserve this.
not at peace.
What went to her wasn't her fault.
Issue technology can and
Oh,
will
hello.
change whoever isn't strong enough to command it. That explains your own aggression, Layla.
I'm still me. I'm not as weak as you think I am.
But there's a very basic difference between Lyra and Layla. In that,
Will be well defended.
why is it well defended? What are they defending? Also, I might as well find this data cache and scan it because I'm going to, like, I apparently need to level up my Isu knowledge. There we go. There's the... Is that the cache? If it is, that's pretty big area. But yeah, like Lyra had no knowledge that she was switching from one type to the other. And she was actively murdering people in her other form. Whereas, Layla's murder was aware, she was aware as to what was going on, and it was an accident. This is a very crowded area. Oh, hello. So let's hit you. And hit you again. Alright. That worked out pretty well. And now I can loot some chests. Stab some fools. I keep holding down the button. I don't necessarily need to critically assassinate everybody. Mounted upon Avamon's wall was the head of a beast in mid-howl. He called it a wolf, though I'd seen nothing like it. A new creation, perhaps.
What was in that box? body's tingling like mad. Must be more of these somewhere.
Yeah, interesting. If I actually needed ability points to do stuff, I might actually really want to get a hold of those. And another viewpoint. Synchronized. It's interesting that this place has a day-night cycle. I believe, Elysium didn't have it, it was just daytime. Hades' plane of torment was just agony all the time. So I guess it's a little bit refreshing to go back to that kind of, behavior. See, I don't think I have to actually worry about, like in the Persephone's story, I had to worry about, like, eliminating, like, the torches of Hypnos, and...
The watch will be vigilant here.
And defeating bad guys and rescuing them. But in here, I believe all I really need to do is get a hold of the technology. If you don't mind me. I'm just gonna scan this. Nope, trying to climb. Okay. No, I guess that's not a... Okay. It looks like I'm gonna have to take the long way around. Because I'm not sticking around for this one. Oh, hello.
This is it.
Rebel scum. Alright. Let us talk to Amphiris. Amphiris, I forget who, if he wasn't the one who was doing the, he was the one that was terrorizing his, community. Which sounds, initially, like a great way to build the respect of your peers.
That must be Amphiris. Why so many guards?
Yes, why so many guards? Not why so many dead bodies.
Let her pass.
Okay.
Amphiris, if this is how you treat humans, I can see why you need so many guards.
These aren't humans. They are animals. An animal should be in cages.
Dead bodies of civilians outside, a tortured corpse at your feet. The only animal I see around here is you.
A human did this to me while I slept. When they came to kill me, I survived. But they slaughtered my daughter like an animal. Humans don't act with logic or reason.
Good or bad, they are driven by a will to survive.
A trait we implanted to ensure efficiency.
This has become
But that will
complex.
become a kindled flame of insurrection. You led a rebellion yourself in Elysium. So I know you understand. If we don't act, the city will burn and many more lives will be lost.
I don't see an army marching on Poseidon.
This one said they plan to launch an attack. Someone needs to destroy the resistance before that happens.
Why is that guy having such a hard time?
Despite what you think, all humans aren't a threat.
It is the only path I see.
Just throw him in the corpse
You are
pile.
Atlantis. Only you can choose the correct course of action.
Kill their leaders? Or no killing, I'll destroy their supplies. Because if they have no supplies, they can't attack. But it's the leaders that are given the organization.
If we find and kill the leaders, the ones spreading the message, the rest will lose interest.
An interesting theory. Perhaps you are right. If the leaders are removed, the rest may see the error of their opposition.
Just leave it to me. I'll send a message they won't forget.
Very well. You'll find the traitorous humans at an abandoned farmstead. Return to me when the situation is resolved.
Oh. And the farmstead is just right over there. It's nice to actually... That's the nice thing about the DLCs, especially the Fate of Atlantis. Like, the Legacy of Fate took place in the regular map, but this takes place in these kind of, like, enclosed areas. So my goal is to try to get in... Oh. That throws a wrench in my plan, because I want it. Or at the very least, I should have it.
Careful. High security here.
Interesting. So essentially the only people that are violent are the human characters. Can I take it from this direction? No, I cannot. Project Olympus, humans will Part 1, human will proving difficult. 2, current genetic combinations unstable. 3, access restricted. Project Olympus identification required to continue. Huh. That is very odd. Alright, let's circle around. We'll run in. Take out this front guy. Okay. And then we'll...
If the leader's dead, the resistance is over.
Alright. That's done. Let's get out of here. Or try to get out of here. I don't think these guys should be following me. It's a little bit dangerous. Okay.
Vicastis, I'm glad to see you return safely. I almost considered sending a regiment of my guard after you.
That would have been overkill.
You can never be too careful when dealing with violent humans. Come, tell me, has the resistance been quashed?
They have received quite the
Them gone,
quashing.
their movement is dead.
A sound strategy, but I fear the problem exists at the heart of humanity itself. Another leader will rise eventually.
And when a new leader rises, we will remove them as well. It's the best way to prevent your fears from happening.
Your strategy is logical. But to be ever vigilant is a daunting prospect. Perhaps it's a weight someone must always carry. For now, that someone is you.
Yay. I'm glad to hold this responsibility for your position.
That's one Archon helped. I hope they're not all this intense.
No, they're even more intense. Increase intensity to maximum. Okay, so there are a couple of things I could snag to gain some Isu knowledge in this place. And I'd like to do that. Without having to worry about getting into fights with anybody here. Okay, so that one was acquired. And then there is the bigger one up top, which is conveniently guarded by nobody? What I know of Project Olympus is this: they need food, lots of it. I'm happy to reap their share and provide whatever they need, for I know in their work they will cast a light across the cycles to come. But food is growing scarce. Who or what could eat this much? Huh. Amphiras was the fire, certainly, but his daughter was his hearth. So long as she stood at his side, this Doma would be a place of warmth and even love. Excellent. And let's also rob this chest. And now for another identical viewpoint. Damn it. I did not even know that was a function. Actually, I really did not know that was a function. The ability to kind of like do this kind of like cool flip off the top of a tower. I'm going to have to see if I could attempt that again. I don't know in what situation I would need it. But yeah, it seems like because of the structure of this DLC, the ringed city, it's kind of created these towers at each at different posts throughout, and the towers essentially become the viewpoints. But it means that it kind of limits. There we go. That's kind of cool. I didn't even know that was a function. Like, it creates a lot of similar structures that achieve that same thing, instead of having different structures being the viewpoints like they were in the main games or the other DLCs. Okay, so I was expecting all of these statues to be of, like, dolphins or whatnot. That statue, pretty badass. And what do we have here? A dead person?
What's this? A message.
The armor that's come into your possession represents protection and not meant for us. It was forged for the Dicastes, but who's to say they deserve all the power in Atlantis? In this realm of Isu versus human, a just Dicastes will let us, the Atlantean pole marks. Keep it for ourselves. Until we are found out, the pieces are spread amongst you in the Domus of Mestor, Elasippos, Menicius, Azius, and Autochthonos. Keep them safe. Oh, okay, so special armor for this area. And the central viewpoint that I probably could have picked up while I was back in the Palace of Poseidon, which would have been a nice little preview to all the different sections of the city. Though, I suppose that's the thing, like, if you... seeing these things from a distance with no understanding of them, like, it creates a situation where, like, what is the difference between that area there and that area? Like, they all just kind of blend together in kind of a blur. Although I gotta say, pretty cool statues going on. You got, like, these dudes with tridents. You got sharks. You got whatever those beasts are. Different concepts of the dogs from Ghostbusters 1? Oh, and there are dolphins. For some reason I just saw a whole bunch of sharks in a row, and I was wondering whether I just convinced myself that there were also statues of dolphins as well, which would be a little bit surprising to have this underwater city and no dolphin statues. Okay, so I have two things to get. I have the chest and the...
Something's out there.
No, nothing. Nothing at all. Nope. This is very crowded. How will I do it without anybody noticing me? Don't I have an ability to just disappear? Uses a whole bunch of adrenaline. Or everybody will just leave the platform I plan to go to. I am perfectly fine with that result. In the opulence of this dome, our dear Archon Gadros learned a new way to skin a human, so to speak. The weak do not need fear to be obedient. All alone would do, and who better than Gadros to deliver? Yeah, this is basically presenting a very strong message that the issue are just here to use humans. Possibly even including Alethea?
Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.